Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. This is the final day of Pumpkin Palooza 2025, the collaboration with the Inquisitive Farm Wife. And today I'm presenting a savory turkey meatballs with my pumpkin sauce. Therefore, if you're ready, let's roll up those sleeves, let's get some prep done, and let's get cooking. I started with a little bit of prep before I started the video. One of the things I did was to my breadcrumbs, and these are actually homemade breadcrumbs, Italian. To my breadcrumbs, I've added my milk, and I'm letting that sit for 5 minutes. I've also diced up chiffonade on my sage. You can make it smaller if you choose, that's 100% up to you. I have grated my Parmesan cheese, freshly grated. You know, I always say, definitely grate your Parmesan cheese fresh. My egg is at room temperature. I have my Italian seasoning ready. So let's move on with our savory turkey meatballs. First off, let's do our onion. You can do your onion in a couple different ways. You can cut it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grate my onion as well as my garlic into my bowl first before I add in my ground turkey meat. So let's grate our onion. Why? I really want my onion and my garlic to melt into the background. I want those flavors, but I don't want any chunks of onion or garlic this time. And like I said, this is super quick. It doesn't take very long. The meatballs, start to finish, maybe about 30 minutes. A little bit more on that one. I want all of my garlic, because you know I love garlic. And we want to make sure we get all of our garlic and our onion into our bowl. Now that I've washed my hands, to my bowl that has my grated onion and garlic, we're gonna add in our ground turkey. Also, we're gonna add in our breadcrumbs that we soaked in our milk for 5 minutes. Add in your sage, your Italian seasoning, your freshly grated Parmesan. Remember, freshly grated is best because it doesn't have all those preservatives in it. Preservatives, stabilizers, etc. And then last but not least, we're gonna add in our egg. I've taken my rings off and I'm going to go in here with my hands and I'm going to get everything and I'm going to make sure that I mix it up really, really well. I believe that utilizing your hands for this particular process is the most efficient and the best way to make your meatballs. It really helps to distribute all of your ingredients, because you just get it and flip and push, flip and push. Now, the one thing with your meatballs, you could actually make these a day ahead of time, form them, and then allow them to cover them up and allow them to sit in your refrigerator. And that will allow all of those seasonings and all those flavors to really, really meld through and to go through your meatballs, and you will have a bit of a superior dish. However, again, like I said, I'm wanting to make this a midweek meal, and with midweek meals, you don't oftentimes think about, oh, well, I want to cook this tomorrow. It's like, well, what can I put together quickly, but yet have something that's absolutely delicious and get it on the table to your families. And this is one of those dishes. So now that's mixed, get that, tuck it under a little bit. Okay, that is mixed. So I'm super happy with that. Smells actually quite good. now that I've washed my hands, again, I think it's important to make sure that you keep your hands clean. I'm going to form my meatballs. So with my scoop, I'm just gonna scoop out my meatballs and then I'm gonna roll them into a ball and set them on my tray. Now, this scoop is about 1.5 inches across. So basically what I want are my meatballs to be relatively uniform at 1.5 inches. This is a quick and easy way to kind of get that done. And you know, I do like presentation, and to have your meatballs basically the same size, I think will help to elevate your presentation. Now, along with the meatballs and our pumpkin sauce, I'm gonna make some gnocchi. Now, this gnocchi I did not do homemade because, again, I want this to be a quick meal. However, if you would like for me to show you how I do make my gnocchi from scratch, leave it down in the comment section. And when I do my gnocchi, after I boil them, just to add that little bit of extra zing, I'm going to be frying them in some butter and allowing that butter to become a little bit brown. And then so when I plate up, so you're gonna have kind of nuttiness. You'll have a little bit of nuttiness with on your gnocchi from the brown butter. And as an added little bonus, just spoon a little bit of that brown butter over your meatballs and your gnocchi that's gonna be sitting in your luscious pumpkin sauce. Now that I have formed all of my meatballs, I'm going to add some avocado oil to my skillet or my pan, and I'm going to let this heat for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to do it on medium-high. You're going to want to allow your oil to start to shimmer. Once it starts to shimmer, then it's time to cook your meatballs. Okay, let's go ahead and start to fry our meatballs. And you're gonna cook these for about 5 to 7 minutes, because you want them to be golden brown. And as you see, I'm gonna be doing this in batches because I don't want to overcrowd my pan. I want to get a nice good sear. Important to keep them moving. You want a nice, even golden brown. You want them to look like this. About like that. It can be a little bit darker. You just want to make sure that you don't burn them. After we get all of our meatballs cooked, then we're going to go on to our sauce, which is super quick, super easy. Because our sauce only has 3 ingredients. Now that the meatballs are done, we're going to add in our heavy cream. And we're going to add in our pumpkin puree, along with sage. Give everything a mix, because what we're going to want to do is we're going to start to release some of that fond, and we're going to cook this for about 5 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit more cream because I feel that my sauce is a little bit tight. Now I'm going to taste this for seasoning. Salt and pepper. You could absolutely use white pepper instead of black pepper. I'm keeping my heat. I don't want it to boil. I just want it at a really low simmer. Still a little bit more salt and pepper. Now once I have my balance right, then I'm going to reintroduce our meatballs, and I want those to cook for about 5 more minutes. That's perfect. And we're going to reintroduce our meatballs back into our sauce. And if they have any accumulated juices, you're going to add that back too. Give them a gentle stir. Not trying to break up our meatballs. Drop my temperature down a bit more. And I'm going to cover it up. And we'll be right back. Okay, our gnocchi is done. So now you could do this with any pasta. I've chosen gnocchi just because I believe that the kind of the pillowiness of the gnocchi pairs really well with this particular dish. But you could choose any pasta or no pasta at all. Another thing that you could do if you wanted to, you could finish this off with a little bit more fresh Parmesan, but that's 100% up to you. And there you have our savory turkey meatballs with a sage pumpkin sauce.
Remember, your kitchen is your passport to the world, allowing you to explore diverse cultures and cuisines right from home as you explore new flavors and techniques. And as always, bon appetit.